So, welcome to R5 Live. Got Luke Stokes from LW Digital here. We are going to talk and discuss things around Google My Business. Now, we all know Google My Business is bloody important, very important. Not only from a point of view of location and posting and being found searchable, which we'll go through, but also from a SEO point of view, being picked up on some of the search engines. But we'll go into a little bit more detail. Luke is more of an expert on this than me, hence why he is here. Luke, thoughts? Google My Business.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me on. The first thing I'll say is Google My Business is one of the most important tools for small to medium-sized businesses, any size business really, but small to medium-sized, just for the fact that to set it up doesn't cost you anything. It's a free marketing tool which can drive so many results, and it can help make you stand out against local competitors in Google searches, which is an invaluable tool. You can gain access to Google Maps, Google Reviews and Google Images through the use of Google My Business, getting your business to appear within those features. And yeah, essentially it's a vital tool to stay competitive locally and across Google searches online.
And I think one of the main things around this is understanding from a Google My Business and being seen on those maps and those locations. It has to be a verified account, doesn't it? If it's not verified, it won't show on the location. So your local area or in the Google Maps and the site that side, from my understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. And the verification process isn't complicated. Essentially, the way it's been set up now by Google is they send you a code in the post, normally a 5 or 6 digit code, and it'll go to the address that your business is registered at, and then you'll simply enter that code online. It's just their way of verifying that you own the premises or you are at the premises and that business is there. So it's a really simple step, and it takes, I think, 4 business days, they say. That can vary. But yeah, it's a really simple process. But like you said, really important you get that done as soon as possible, because otherwise you won't be appearing in these great features.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm actually still waiting for one of mine to come through, because I redid it, as I was saying to you last week. I redid it last week, and I'm here counting the days off, saying, come on, because I need to get some stuff doing.
Yeah, they go on.
Yeah. So, hey, we were looking at, we put on an agenda around this and looked at it. One of the things for me around this is this posting to it as well, because
yes,
like social media, I think you've got to be consistent with it. But is there any do's and don'ts from what you understand? Because I post products because it says products, offers, updates and things like that. So I post once a day, and it can be whatever I'm posting to another post, but I do tailor it.
Absolutely. I think the best way to look at it is sort of like another social network. I was speaking to somebody about this yesterday, and that's the way she uses it for her business. Use it as an extra social network. So use it in a way that you would Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. You wouldn't spam posts on there, so don't spam Google with posts of offers, etc., because they're not going to like that, just like a lot of social networks don't like. But yeah, post regularly. I think that's really important for the SEO and maintain that you appear highly in results. Posting regularly, and also with your photos as well, which we'll touch on in a little while. Putting those on regularly, just weekly updates, keeps you in the algorithm's thoughts and gets you high up on those rankings. So it's really important to use it actively, but again, don't go over the top. Don't spam it, because again, Google will know that you're doing that and maybe de-rank you rather than help you out.
Yeah, and one of the things I don't do on the posts is, and rightly or wrongly, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong on this, but I've never used hashtags on the Google My Business posts, because I don't think it picks up on it, does it, that much?
No, well, the way Google works is essentially based off keywords. So, your Twitters and your Instagrams, hashtags are vital in connecting people and connecting businesses and products together. But no, on Google, like you said, it'll pick up on the words in your descriptions based on their relativity to the searches that people use, rather than the hashtag. So the hashtags aren't that vital in it, no.
No. Okay, good. Now we've got down here. We've done a bit around Google Maps. What about Google reviews?
Vital, to be honest. I'm sure people watching this will know Google Maps now. When you appear straight away underneath, you get a little star reviews and how many reviews and how many stars. And people base their purchasing decisions on products and services now a lot on reviews. If you don't have those reviews attached to your Google My Business profile, it could off-put potential customers. Now, putting these reviews on there is really simple. You literally direct people to your profile through a direct link, or you can tell them to type your business in on Google. It takes them 30 seconds to leave a review, but that can be so valuable, and that can also affect how highly you rank as well. So getting those reviews regularly off customers, having those frequently updated is going to rank you probably higher than people that don't use this feature as often as they should.
Yeah, okay, that's something that I'm going to look to push in the coming weeks across the businesses. I think one of the things that we were discussing last week around this is I'd got the 3 businesses really registered because I'm at the same address because of the different models that I do, and there was like a conflict, and we were discussing last week around how can we set it up, and I'd actually got separate accounts for them, but what I didn't realise is I could actually set up the Google My Business for each separate account. So that's one way of getting around it, isn't it? So you've got to have a separate Google email address or email account.
It's simple. You wouldn't use the same work email for your 3 different businesses. So just think about it like that. Have a separate Google Gmail account for each business listing that you have. Keep it nice and simple. That way all the messages will go through to that Gmail account. You won't have to sort through which messages is from which one, etc. So keep it nice and simple like that. And it is worth noting as well that you can add multiple locations on each listing. So if you have a business which operates in 10 areas and one business which operates in just a couple, you can add that to your listing and it won't affect, having the separate accounts won't affect it, doesn't matter. So you can add multiple locations to individual listing. Excellent,
great. Now, Google, we would say, and we'll touch on Google Images. So go on then, what's about Google Images?
Yeah, it's a tool which I don't know if people realise with Google My Business, the photos that you attach to your Google My Business profile, it could be about your products, could be about your services, could even be your logo. But these are going to appear when people search for businesses like yours. So, for example, if they search your name on Google and they click on images, every single image on that profile is going to be within that image tab at some point. So it's about choosing those images that you want to best represent your business. And like I said earlier about keeping those regularly updated, the last thing you want on a profile is an outdated logo, for example. So easy to update on there, it takes 2 seconds, but just make sure that people can recognize your business. And also on Google Images as well, it's about, especially for small businesses, those brick and mortar locations, having like a shop front on there can be really important, and that links into the maps as well. So when people click on your Google My Business profile, they know what to look out for when they're walking the street to appear to your shop, or, so for barbers or hairdressers, for example, they know what the shop front looks like, and they can pick you out on the crowd just by having that photo attached to your profile. So that's a really important tool just to get footfall into your stores.
Yeah, I must admit, I have had a client that when I've got lost finding his address, I've actually looked on Google for the shop front, and it was the wrong shop front that had actually got on there.
There you go. Yeah. Thing with that as well, point to note, which is actually something I've noticed working with the client myself. Sometimes the images they put on there are related to Google Maps. So you know how they drive around with the machine that takes pictures of the streets. If their images are outdated, then the chances are you could potentially have an outdated shop front listed on your listing just by your location. So by putting that photo yourself on there, just eliminates the risk, because the worst case scenario then people have 2 photos to look up for and they choose the most updated one.
Yeah, peace of mind on that one, I think, as well, with that. Now, again with images, I would suppose that with each one of the images you want to keep the alt tag or the name of the image, you want to be sort of like keyword orientated towards what the image is about and what the image is as well.
Exactly.
So don't just leave it with the date as such.
Or a screenshot number with like 15,000 numbers on there. No, keep it nice and relevant to your business. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now we come on. We got down here local search adverts.
Yes.
So what were you thinking around this?
So people might have heard of Google Ads before. With Google My Business, like I said, completely free at the start. You can do all the things we've talked about so far completely for free, and you manage it yourself. If people want to gain an advantage over their local competitors, there is an option to link your Google My Business account to a Google AdWords account. Now, essentially what this means is you can appear in adverts on Google searches and adverts actually within Google Maps. So this can put you at the top of Google Maps and Google search listings ahead of your local competitors that aren't doing this. Now, you set the budget for this, and you can work with advertising agencies to facilitate this, and obviously costs with that do vary. but you set the budget for how much you want to spend on these monthly adverts. So it's definitely a way of sort of skyrocketing yourself to the upper end of local listings and local maps listings, if you think that could be something that's going to benefit your business. And like I said, coupled with all the things we talked about so far, your images, if you have those nailed on, your reviews as well, you're going to be appearing at the top of those listings with great images, great reviews, and you're going to stand out from your competitors ultimately.
Yeah, excellent. That's good. That is good. And is that something that you can help with?
Absolutely, yeah.
Google Ads and that side, because that's part of your business, what your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just comes under pay-per-click marketing essentially. And anybody that's interested in that, like I said, a lot of digital agencies offer it. And yeah, that's definitely something which I can facilitate if people did want to have a chat about that.
Excellent. So I know this is a short. We've probably been on about 10 minutes, a bit longer than that. Anything else you think we've missed?
Not really. I just want to talk about maybe quickly the basics of Google My Business. People don't really know how powerful it is and how much information you can put on there. So we've touched about advertising your product and services, but simple things like contact information, opening hours, facilitating bookings, and also putting the category of the services or products that you offer on Google is going to get you more customers ultimately. You know, the categories especially, you're going to appear in searches locally for when people search for businesses like yours. And the contact information and the opening hours just instantly tell people how to get in touch with you when they see your listing and whether you're open for business or not. And it's just a lot easier for the customers and your end to keep things nice and simple.
And I think that is the key there for me, Luke, on anybody that's in business, is making it easy for somebody looking at your shop window to be able to get in contact with you, find information. It has to be really, really quick, because you won't have long.
No, exactly. And again, like straight away, you can add call features. They can click one button straight onto calling you. Directions. They can click a button on Google Maps and have directions to your store, your physical location within seconds. And then also links to your website. You know, if you want to get listed online and get people to see you and then go to your website, you can have this in the listing as well. So it is a really, really powerful tool.
Excellent. Brilliant. Well, we'll be doing another one next week. What do you want this one to be on next week? Any ideas? Or should we just surprise everybody?
We'll go for a surprise. Why not?
Yeah, why not? We'll go for a surprise. So, yeah, great. Another one. Wait till next week and have a great weekend.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you.